Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and his official weight stands at 190 pounds. He has an outstanding professional career, 65 victories, including 42 knockouts with 4 defeats and 1 bout even. From the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, here is the challenger, the former 7-time world champion, James "Lights Out" Toney. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing tiger stripes, he officially weighs 188 pounds. Since capturing Olympic gold in 1996, he has a perfect professional record consisting of 31 bouts, 31 victories, including 27 knockouts. From Bulgash, Kazakhstan, here is the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Vasily the Tiger JIROV.
Gentlemen, you were given your instructions away. Please obey my commands, respect the bell, and above all, protect yourself at all times. Trunks are good. Touch them up. Touch the gloves, James. James, touch the man's glove. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
So, a little bit reluctantly, James Toney finally touching gloves with Vasily JIROV. JIROV going for the 9th defense of his title here. There are a few pleasantries at the pre-fight weigh-in and the pre-fight press conference when it really kicked off between these two people. It would appear, Duke, no great love lost between them.
There's no love lost between these two at all. But James Toney's been notorious throughout his whole career. He's been quite a volatile character. A lot will depend on what James Toney shows up here today.
Well, JIROV with height and reach advantage. A southpaw. And Toney, well, he really has been around the block, hasn't he? Former world middleweight champion, world super middleweight champion, and at one stage, until he caught up with Roy Jones, they were actually talking about him being the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. But Jones, of course, beat him back in 1994, and now Toney fighting as a cruiserweight. JIROV would probably start as favourite for this, but Toney, a real crafty, wily campaigner. Good body shot.
Yeah, Toney seems like he's been around forever. He's just been, you know, super middleweight champion, now up to the cruiserweight limit, and as well, he's just getting backed up and getting paid a little bit here by JIROV. But you would expect the bigger man JIROV to force this fight, push Toney back.
Toney at one stage even fought as a heavyweight. He's been up over 200 pounds. Not been the most disciplined man. You say a volatile character. He once pulled a gun on his manager,
which is just incredible, isn't it?
Don't remember you ever doing anything like that with Mickey Duff.
Mickey Duff would have probably stuck a right hand on me, but it's just not happening.
The referee here, Steve Smoger, in his 105th title fight. And if memory serves me right, he reffed one of your contests as well, didn't he, Duke?
Absolutely, yeah. When I won my 2nd world title, Steve Smoger refereed that when I beat Kabi Canizales. Fantastic referee.
Toney in his 72nd professional fight. And a good solid right hand. And he just got clipped by it as he came in, though, Toney.
Yeah, he got caught there. He was just trying to force the fight a little bit. But he's just, JIROV is a southpaw, which means he leads with the right hand. So Toney's got to get his foot on the outside of his right hand foot and come over the top. Toney keeps throwing his right hand. It's a great shot for him. He's just popping it right down the middle. He can't seem to miss JIROV at the moment. There it is again.
He's got a real lazy sort of rhythm about him, James Toney, hasn't he? At his best, he can look a really good fighter.
He's so relaxed, he really is. He carries his left hand really low, which leaves him wide open to a JIROV jab or a hook, but he just seems to be getting away with it.
And JIROV's been the busier, hasn't he? But there's the busier fighter, but there's a little wry smile on Toney's face as he came in there, and he just picked him off with that right hand. There's a lot of punches being thrown here by JIROV, but not many of them are scoring shots to my way of looking at it. An awful lot being taken on the arms. Fascinating opening round. I reckon that Tony just about did it, and you saw again a little exchange of pleasantries at the end of the round, and Tony's really trying to get under this man's skin.
Absolutely, you know, the thing for me in that round was JIROV may have been the busier fighter, found the more shots, but the harder punching, the more telling punches were coming from James Toney.
A lot of experience in that JIROV corner. The man speaking there, Tommy Brooks, of course, used to train Mike Tyson, and there's Freddie Roach, who's the current trainer of Mike Tyson, with James Toney. Used to coach Steve Collins.
Well, he's everybody knows Freddie Roach's reputation speaks for itself. You know, he's trained endless amount of world champions, and now he's back with like James Toney doing his stuff with him.
There you see, Duke, an awful lot of punches being thrown, but not too many of them getting through. And then when the counter came, the telling punch came from Toney.
That was the right hand I was telling you about. James Toney's been working on that, I dare say, in the gym. You'll see it again in this round. He's found a home for it. He'll throw it again. There it is.
Well, JIROV's trying to bully his man back. He has got power in those punches, JIROV. 31 wins, and 27 of them have come by knockout.
JIROV's got a nice ratio of knockout. He's a solid puncher more than a destructive puncher. But, you know, I actually think he's fighting the wrong kind of a fight. He's a champion. He should let Toney come to him and try and take the championship off him. I'm sure he would have a lot more success as a counter puncher than he would as an attacking fighter. Tony's so relaxed, he's so cool, he's just, you know, he's prepared to pick up the pace in this fight when he's ready and put it down when he's ready.
That right hand getting in again, though. Toney can't afford to take too many of those. Clubbing right over the top, but he's trying to sucker him in here, isn't he?
Absolutely. You just saw a very wry smile from James Toney, as if to say, you're not hurting me. You can throw as many punches as you want. You can't get through. There's that right hand again, right over the top.
JIROV's trying to force it, trying to boss the fight, but you wonder whether he's going to keep this pace up if it goes any distance. He's starting to try and unload here, but again, just crafty covering up by Toney, swaying with the punch, and now when it comes to payback time, the more hurtful blows are coming from Toney.
Absolutely. I mean, JIROV, he's throwing plenty of shots, but he's just hitting arms, elbows, and Toney on the top of the head. There's that right hand again from James Toney. He can't miss with it.
He's got a good track record against southpaws, you know, as Toney. Beaten Michael Nunn, beaten Reggie Johnson, both southpaws, and those are good names.
They are excellent names to have on your record. I'd like to see if JIROV can keep his pace up. It's a 12-round fight. It's a hard pace. They're throwing plenty of shots. A lot of head movement from JIROV. A lot of little feints, trying to busy his way in, trying to get in.
Well, the distance factor could come into it, of course. JIROV's actually only been 12 rounds on a couple of occasions. James Toney's been the 12-round distance on no fewer than 14 occasions. You know, he's just been around so long. He's vastly experienced.
He's a proper veteran of
Good
the boxing
shot.
circle. Oh, yeah.
Lovely, sweet little right-hand counter in there, wasn't there, from Toney?
Just look how comfortable he looks when he's against the ropes. He's not getting flustered, he's not getting frustrated. You know, he's dropping his hands a little bit in contempt almost.
Sometimes American judges can be impressed by work rate, and certainly the more punches were being thrown by JIROV, but the qualities with this fella.
The quality undoubtedly is with James Toney, but he just backs JIROV off onto the ropes, let himself get backed up, and he's just content just to work away at his own pace.
He really looks as though he's enjoying himself in there, doesn't he? I mean, you've seen the smile on his face during the rounds.
That's a good sign, you know. He's actually talking back to Freddie Roach. There's a nice bit of a nice response coming back from him now. You know, Freddie's just saying, you know, don't lay on the ropes, get busy, get out there.
Right?
Got you. 1 minute, baby.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, baby. Come on with it.
Time no
then.
shots, right?
Huh?
Okay, time no shots, right? Okay, right here.
Sure.
Put that right.
Show 'em what greatness is, baby.
I got him, eh? Duke, he really fancies this, doesn't he? I think he's felt what JIROV's got to offer, and there you see that little smile again as he looks across to the other side of the ring.
Right, it's early days yet, you know, winning to the 3rd round, but so far, you know, the pair of them have made quite a good start. Oh, low blow.
That's very low. That was very low indeed. Well, James Toney will be given time to recover here, and that really has taken the wind out of his sails.
Let me tell you, Steve Smoger won't stand for any nonsense like that. Any more of that, and JIROV will be out of there, make no mistake.
Accidental or deliberate, do you think?
No, I think it was accidental. I don't think it was deliberate at all. JIROV just started really fast. The shot went low.
Here it is. Oh, dear me. You can hear the gasps from the crowd. They were seeing that rerun on the screens above the ring, and you can hear. I think every fella in the place felt that one.
But James Toney's style, where he's got a little bit of a crouching style, where he carries his left hand low, he dips forward a little bit. You know, infringements like that are going to happen.
Well, the action underway once again, and Toney's going to work. He's really laying a bit of leather on him now.
Well, he replied straight away to that with his trademark right hand that he just cannot seem to miss JIROV with.
JIROV's got himself caught there. He went wading in, trying to throw the kitchen sink at Toney, and Toney just picked him off, and he's been caught, I think, and stung by that as JIROV.
There he is again, James Toney, with that cross-arm defence. It's a hard defence to penetrate.
And he might not be particularly fleet of foot, but there's real pace in those punches that he snaps out, isn't there?
Absolutely, they're almost effortless, but you know, the power has been generated from his speed and his technique. There's that right hand again.
And JIROV's open to it every time.
I'd like to see JIROV just use that jab a little bit more. I'm sure that would be, there it is. That's the key to victory for him if he's going to get it. He's just got to get behind that jab and, you know, really start getting busy with it.
He's surprised me so far, JIROV. It's not his normal disciplined performance, and look at that right hand again. It really thudded into JIROV's face. And another one. Toney's picking him off, and the crowd sense that that the American could win this one.
The lights out, he seems to be generating enough speed and power in that right hand to really trouble JIROV.
He's rolling back the years, as they say. Still talking about going up to heavyweight, you know. Chris Bird is at ringside, the IBF heavyweight champion, and Toney has called out Bird. He says that he wants him and that he'll take him on if he wins this fight.
Well, at 34, there's plenty of life left in him yet. I mean, at 34, he is relatively still quite young. There's Vinny Pazienza just sitting in the background there, taking stock of this. Maybe we'll see a return from him.
There's old Vinny just behind the red barricade. Fought Harold Graham a few years back. He's a real popular figure in this part of the world. Good body shot there from JIROV, but he keeps getting picked off as he comes in, and he's not really troubled Toney by my way of looking at it at any stage so far, not badly.
Toney just got through with a beautiful left hook.
He's starting to mark up his JIROV, and not surprising.
Well, you know, I really can't understand his tactics up until now, because he's a very upright boxer, but he's got height and reach advantage over James Toney, and he's just not using them.
Drop your hands, drop your hands. You got to move your head on the inside, partner. You know what I'm saying? And look, you got to throw more punches. Just don't be standing there, you know what I'm saying, man?
Yep.
Just like we worked on in the gym. Follow me?
Yep.
Okay, look.
All right, don't move straight back, off in your angles, all right? Just keep using those angles and keep turning this guy. You feel the ropes coming up when you get off him.
Right.
Okay, son? All right?
I got you, baby.
Okay. Man.
Awful shot.
Well, he saw that awful low blow, which really winded James Toney. That was a shocker.
That brought tears to my eyes.
Vasily JIROV got Phil Torrance alongside Tommy Brooks in his corner. Of course, Audley Harrison's coach, trainer.
JIROV should try counter-punching a little bit and stop forcing the fight, because, you know, when he goes forward, he's not having too much success. He gets that cross-arm defence from James Toney. He's not penetrating the guard at all. He's just throwing punches and hitting arms and gloves. He's not necessarily winning the fight. Equally, though, for James Toney's defence, you know, Toney's just like backing up, and he is landing the more telling shots, but he needs to get busy also.
JIROV, a terrific amateur record before he turned pro in 1997. He won the title in June 1999 and has been pretty well recognised as the #1 cruiserweight in the world since then. But James Toney showing at times glimpses of the form which made him so formidable a performer a decade or so ago.
This is a better round for JIROV. He's not trying as hard, he's just taking a little bit of a step back and just trying to draw James Toney in a little bit. JIROV's getting marks up around his right eye.
He looks a little more relaxed now, does JIROV, as though the pre-fight goading and tension has now left him and he's settling into a little bit of a better rhythm. But it's almost contemptuous, isn't it, what Toney's doing in there, talking to somebody at ringside.
That's James Toney for you, though. The guy is so unpredictable. Great shot, lovely right hand from Toney. Drilled him right down the guard.
Well, JIROV connected with that right hand. You heard from the JIROV corner, nice one, but it didn't move Toney one iota.
It's a little bit better boxing from JIROV now. He's just trying to find his range a little bit now. There you go.
But then the power, you know, just stepped in behind the solid right hand, and there's absolutely no doubting that the edge in power and timing certainly lies with Toney. This is JIROV's best round so far, I think. I mean, Toney's switched off the gas a little here, hasn't he? He's showboating, but he's not actually doing a great deal.
Absolutely, he's looking busy doing nothing, as they say.
I think this is what might be called a little bit of a resting round for James Toney.
Just answers that with a very sweet left hook right at the end of the round.
It was a good shot though, but he didn't do enough, did he?
No, absolutely. Didn't do enough to win that round for me.
Let's see what Freddie Roach makes of it in that corner.
Okay. Now here. We need more combinations, okay? All right? You're single punching too much out there, son. All right, JJ? Get the spit back it up here, Lou.
Right here.
Yeah, he's got to try and throw combinations, that's what he's saying, Duke.
Yeah, well, he definitely switched off in that round. Wasn't as dominant in that round as he was previously. Just for him, 1 or 2 shots, not really putting his punches together in bunches at all. Just got outworked, I think, in that round. JIROV had a very good round. Still talking to Freddie Roach, so that's a good sign.
So here we go into the 5th round. It's scheduled for 12, of course. We had Toney certainly winning the first 3 or 4. First 3, certainly. The 4th maybe goes to JIROV.
Toney's come out this round to boss the fight. He come out at a nice little cluster there with 1 or 2 beautiful shots. There it is again, there's that right hand. That's the power shot for James Toney. He cannot miss JIROV with that straight right down the pipe.
Toney, who comes from the real fight city of Detroit. Place made famous by the great Joe Louis, of course, as well as a few motor cars that have come out of there over the years. He's now based actually near Los Angeles, where he trains with Freddie Roach.
Didn't the Hitman Hearns come out of the Motor City of Detroit?
He certainly did. He could do a bit.
Just about 5-weight world champion.
JIROV has got to do something here to turn this round, hasn't he?
He keeps, you know, he fights in spurts and he's throwing some nice little combinations, but like I said before, I think he would have far more success if he was just doing it as a counter puncher as opposed to attacking. You know, he's the champion. So James Toney really has to come and take that championship from him. And if he does that, he's going to leave himself exposed and he's going to walk onto a shot. A beautiful right uppercut inside there from James Toney. JIROV was definitely hurt.
He really walked onto that one. He'd landed with a good body shot of his own, and Toney just let him come and unleash that terrific counter punch.
You know, I can't help but feel that if James Toney stepped on the gas and really turned it on, he would have JIROV in a lot of trouble.
That's been a criticism of Toney, though, over the years, that he can be a little bit one-paced, and at times his conditioning has been pretty awful. And if you are a professional athlete, if you let yourself get out of shape, as he has done badly at times over the years, it can be very difficult to get it back, to get that conditioning back.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I think he's definitely whipped himself into shape for this fight. He would need to, because JIROV has started at a very hard pace.
JIROV's face certainly marked up. There's a cut in, I think a little bit of a cut in the nick of the right eye. Maybe a graze more than a cut.
Every time Toney throws that left hook or the straight right hand, he slaps that left hook in, and you can see JIROV, it just shudders him right to his boots.
JIROV's trying to go to work to the body, isn't he? He's trying to sap the older man's resolve. Good round, this one.
It's a better scoring round for both fighters.
There's a lot of punches thrown in that round. It'll be fascinating to see a punch count, and once again JIROV almost having to be forced to go back to his corner by the referee Steve Smoger. He had stages of that round where he was landing some real power shots.
I'm telling you, champ, the only way to win this thing and to keep your title, man, is to beat on this sucker, man. Okay. You can't be standing out there fucking looking, man. You gotta beat on his ass.
No doubting the emotions there.
That's absolutely fighting talk. What they're actually trying to do there is to get JIROV, try and fire him up, try and get him to really stamp his authority on this fight. You know, he's thrown 1 or 2 low blows, but his right eye itself is cut. So, you know, they're saying to him, "Come on, son, if you really want this, you got to fight like you want to win."
That was that right uppercut which was landed there again from a different angle. That was a terrific shot.
That hurt. That hurt. That went straight through the guard. And obviously JIROV can't see it. You can't see the uppercut shot coming in. It's a nice low shot.
Well, nearing the halfway stage of the fight now. And that was a close round, the last one, but I'm not convinced that the champion did enough to take it.
Well,
and the meaningful shots, the power shots, again came from Toney. So that being the case, we've got to have Toney in a clear lead at this stage, Duke.
Yeah, there's that right hand again. You know, there's a lovely right uppercut, left hook combination from James Toney in tight there. He swayed to his right, come back with the uppercut, came back with the left hook over the top. Beautiful shot.
It might not be particularly flashy, but in its own way, it's masterful technique that Toney's displaying.
Well, it's absolutely so effective. His style at the moment, JIROV can't really do too much with it. He can't penetrate that defence that James Toney's showing. He looks easy to hit because he's got his left hand so low. But what he actually does, he switches back to the right every time JIROV throws the jab, and that will just glance over his shoulder, and he comes back with a straight left right hook combination.
JIROV's danger shot, the one which has got him most of his knockouts, is the left cross and the left hook. You know, every time he's been trying to go to work with the left hand, Toney's been making him pay, and there he's trying to bully the older man back, JIROV, isn't he? But he's not really landing with a great deal. He's wailing away, and then when the big punch comes, it comes from Toney, and contemptuously he just waves his man back in, and now goes toe to toe with him.
Just waving him in there. James Toney knows that he can hit harder than this kid.
He just wants him. He wants him to come at him, doesn't he? He wants him to pick him off. He wants to pick him off with that right hand. Another lovely uppercut inside. And another one. Great shot.
JIROV's just playing into his hands now. This is James Toney round. He's playing into his hands. He's been hit, he's been hurt, and yet he's still coming forward. You know, this kid has got tactics and he can adopt a different style, but he's just not doing that.
JIROV is expending an awful lot of energy in trying to maintain this attack. Tommy Brooks in his corner between rounds was saying, you've got to get in there and you've got to throw more leather, you're the champion. But in so doing, how much is he going to have left in the tank if this fight goes down to the wire?
There's Tony again, just waving in JIROV. I think that was another low blow, went in there. Heads went in dangerously close there.
I think Steve Smoger would be well advised to keep a close look at that. JIROV's trying to get in there and mug him. This is real terrific toe-to-toe action.
Yeah, toe-to-toe exchange going on beautifully now. But you know, Steve Smoger's such an experienced referee. He's just allowing these guys to work. He knows he's got two world-class performers in there.
Good body shots from both men. And closing seconds of the 6th. Another exceedingly good round. And still they give it the old-fashioned stare, don't they, at the end of the round?
The old-fashioned stare coming to it. You know, JIROV is such a proud man, won't be denied. Again, I still don't think he's adopted the correct tactics for the fight. I don't think he's actually winning the fight right now, but I think he won that round.
The name DiBella up in the background there. He's the promoter, Lou DiBella. He used to be the head of boxing at HBO once upon a time, now forging a pretty decent career in the promotional side of the business.
Absolutely. Well, this is a good card. This is a very good show. He's got two world-class performers here going head-to-head, and you know, the fighters, thank God, they're not letting anybody down.
Young lady was enjoying a moment of fame there. I don't think James Toney, I don't think he noticed.
He didn't notice. The guy's so into this fight. But the one thing that really impressed me about James Toney at the moment is that he keeps talking to Freddie Roach, which is a good sign. He's talking himself into this fight. He's actually convincing himself he can win this fight. It's a good thing. Tony keeps starting this fight nice and fresh. He always starts off with a nice little burst. It's good for the judges. The judges see that, and then, you know, he finishes strong also.
That's experience, pacing his performance. He probably realises that one punch is clearly not going to get rid of this guy, but he's now going to work.
There it is. That's his little explosion, and now he might just back off a little bit and just draw JIROV in, let JIROV have a little go. But he's won the first minute of this fight almost, and I'm sure he'll win the last minute. He's pacing this fight because he just nicks just enough so that the judges will remember the first bit of the fight and the last bit of the fight of this round.
Just waiting for JIROV to come in. JIROV has got to do something to turn this around now. He's got to find something explosive. You can't fault the man for his bravery. He's still coming forward and still trying to force it. And you know, sometimes in the States, judges are impressed by aggression, and you have to recall as well that this is the champion. And they always say to beat a champion, you've got to beat him big. JIROV trying to lean on and force the issue, but in the process taking more heavy shots.
As he leans on to James Toney, when Toney backs up against the ropes, he's not winning the fight on the inside. He's throwing a lot of shots, but he's not penetrating the guard. As I said earlier, I would be more inclined to take a step back and just pepper Toney with that jab, pile up the points, try and nick the rounds, just put the points in the bag. But now he's taking lefts, right, lefts again from James Toney. That's a nice little spell from Toney right there. I expect Toney to start going to work. Just complain there a little bit about heads going in quite close.
Well, JIROV's trying to turn this one into an absolute brawl, isn't he? He's trying to turn this into a toe-to-toe issue and a test of willpower, a test of resolve. He's throwing more punches still. Tony's other defeats, incidentally, against Montel Griffin. He lost twice to him, surprisingly, and also lost to Drake Thadzi. In addition to that defeat against Roy Jones. And as events have proved down the years, no disgrace in that. One of the fights James Toney wants, of course, very much, is a rematch with Roy Jones. He'd love that one. but he's got to get past this tough kid first. 28-year-old Vasily Jirov defending his title, and he right in Tony's face as the bell goes to end the round. But as you say, Tony had the good start to the round, landed the more powerful punches, and it may be that he did enough to win it.
I think so. I think he definitely won, you know, that round, the game, just by breaking up the round, starting strong, finishing strong.
Good right-hand counter from Tony. He's so quick to pounce on any sort of momentary lapse in concentration or loss of balance. Jirov going to work with those body shots. Freddie Roach, incidentally, is trainer there. One of the nicest men you'd wish to meet in boxing.
Yeah, Freddie's a real nice guy. More importantly, though, he's an excellent trainer, good conditioner.
He was a good fighter in his day.
Really?
Getting away from the microphone there, I think, and just trying to whisper in his ear, keep it secret.
That's that fast start again from James Toney. Double jab, right hand. Another low blow.
I'm not sure that that was anything like as low as the previous one, but that's the second time, and he's having a point deducted. That's a point deducted from Jirov. He was in trouble already, and now Steve Smoger has made him pay. And in the referee's opinion, that would have been a deliberate tactic from Jirov.
Well, you know, Steve Smoger, I told you before, he's an excellent referee, and he doesn't stand for any kind of nonsense in there. He just won't have it.
Good shot.
You know, these guys' heads, they go dangerously close more often than not. There's just a clash of styles in there. There's Tony with that crouching stance again, the cross-arm defence.
He's difficult to tag, Tony, isn't he?
He's very difficult.
So many of the shots from Jirov, he's just slipping them and then getting in and punishing him with that right-hand counter again and again. And good left hook as well.
Tony throws really hurtful left hooks and quite damaging straight rights right down the pipe. Can't miss Jirov, he just cannot miss the kid.
Jirov's looking a little bit disorganised in there now. I think the pace is taking its toll on the champion.
The pace is taking its toll, and also that really unorthodox defence that James Toney has.
Good shot.
Clubby short hook inside from Tony.
Tony's got a great chin as well.
Oh, absolutely, he's got a good chin. It's just so cool. Look at him on the ropes. He's almost doing it with absolutely no respect whatsoever. It's not the best tactic to adopt for Jirov because he's just allowing Tony to fight his kind of a fight.
Jirov is bravely coming forward, throwing everything at Tony. Good shot. And
There's
again.
There's that right hand again. Jirov's punches don't seem to have that much of an effect on James Toney. I can understand his corner saying to him, you know, keep working, keep throwing shots, but you know, even at this stage in the fight, I'd be more inclined to tell him just to do what he does normally, is to box, because every time Tony throws that right hand, Jirov is at 6s and 7s, he's all over the place.
Well, he's throwing 3-4 punches to one received, but almost inevitably the one which has landed from Tony is right on the button. That's a good punch from Jirov, absolutely on the bell. Let's see what Tommy Brooks made of that.
Pick the pace up, son. Hey, drop in. You gotta pick the pace up, okay?
Get that taller. Don't squeeze it. I'm not.
You gotta pick the pace up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look. We depend on this guy to run out of gas, man. But you gotta beat on him, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, look.
They are. They're relying on him running out of gas. They think that Tony's conditioning's not that great.
Well, I'd be very surprised if James Toney runs out of steam, because this pace is being fought at his pace.
Pick it up a little bit more.
There's that right uppercut, comes straight right down the pipe again.
There was the low blow. That was the left hook, which got in the point deducted.
Tony's got such a very hard defence to break.
The power of that right hand he threw, he almost swung himself off his feet. Well, we're into the 9th round. I reckon that James Toney must be at least 3 or 4 points clear at this stage.
Absolutely.
Certainly on my card.
Again, you know, it depends on how the judges are scoring this fight, whether they're going for the aggression of JIROV or the precise counter-punching of James Toney, you know, the bigger shots, the harder shots. You would think in a country where they score on aggression.
Oh, now that's a slip, surely. Yes, the referee's saying that's a slip. I think a few people at the back of the auditorium thought that was a genuine knockdown. Bit of water, I think, on the centre of the ring.
Again, if the judges are scoring for aggression, then you would go with JIROV because he's forced to fight.
There's some very anxious voices in the JIROV corner. They're trying to get him there and just throw punches, but all the precision work and the quality work is coming from the challenger. JIROV has taken an awful lot of solid headshots. He's brave. You can't fault the man for his bravery. Still, he keeps coming.
Well, he's trying to break James Toney's heart with just sheer persistence and work rate. Head's gone in dangerously close yet again.
Well, this is what the corner was saying. He's got to just get in there and outwork him and try and get Toney to run out of gas. We heard Tommy Brooks say, we reckon that he can't stay the distance.
Well, you know, it doesn't really matter who wins this fight. It's going to make for a great return.
Oh, it'd make you'd watch this fight every day of the week, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And JIROV really is living up to that nickname of the Tiger. He's gritting his teeth and he's growling at James Toney, just won't be denied.
You ever toy with the idea of having a nickname like Lights Out?
No, mine was the Little Man.
Why was that?
Well, it was actually a nickname for my brother, you know. All my brothers were a lot bigger than me, and I'm the youngest of 7, so Dudley called me the Little Man.
Well, JIROV's thrown a huge number of punches again in this round. He may be on just on effort. He's maybe done enough, but there again in the closing seconds, it's almost as though Tony's got a stopwatch which goes off in his mind, and he knows exactly when it's coming towards the end of the round, and 3 or 4 good quality shots and the old-fashioned stare to end it all.
Yeah, well, that was a much better round from JIROV there. Did exactly what the corner told him to do. He sat on him and just got busy.
Coming up, bro. Look, you can't stand in front of this guy. You got to move your head, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, just like we worked on in the gym, it's nothing different. This ain't no different, except this is for real now. You know what I'm saying? No different than the gym.
I think he's probably noticed that.
Look,
You know,
It's very real.
it's more than real, but you know, that was quite a good round for JIROV. I'd be more inclined trying to get the kid pumped up now. Say, well done, son, you've had a great round, let's have another one just like that.
Run a combination for me, just like on the mitts for me, okay? Yes, sir. You run a combination off this, but here, keep stepping forward with the combination. All right, keep the pressure
Still
on
talking
this
to
guy.
Freddie Roach in the corner, that's great.
He's out of there, James. You gotta push him. All right, James, he's looking for reasons.
Great respect from a man who's regarded as one of the real hard men of boxing, James Toney, for little Freddie Roach, who can't stand more than 5'6". Yes, sir.
That says a lot about James Toney, his mentality for this fight in particular. He's got himself up mentally for this fight. You know, this kid's been around the block a few times, but he's still hungry for success. There's the right hand again. He's gone right hand happy in this round. JIROV looks like he's hurt a little bit. Stumbles forward quite clumsily.
Good shots from Toney here. The JIROV corner imploring him to jab, but it's just not coming. He can't keep Toney off. And now comes the little breather moment maybe for Toney now. He wants to go walkabout and just pace himself for the round. I think he's probably probably reconciled to the fact that he's not going to stop this guy. Although you never know.
Well, the harder punches that come from Tony. He started this round like he has done all the rounds, nice and fast with some hard-telling shots. But JIROV, to his credit, comes back every time. Okay, he's not landing as cleanly as what James Toney does, but he's outworking Tony, you know, maybe 2-3 shots to 1. Oh, big right hand from Tony and a left hook.
Good shots. JIROV's in anxious territory here, dangerous territory.
He's hurt.
He definitely staggered with that one. You could see the legs stiffen, and if Tony could maintain his attack, I think he could get him out of there now.
It was a fantastic right hand, right down the pipe. Couldn't miss JIROV, and he came straight back with a left hook. JIROV was definitely on shaky legs. But look at this guy, for his credit. He hasn't stopped fighting, he hasn't stopped trying to win.
That's where the conditioning comes in, the speed of recovery. A lot of fighters would have been taken out by that shot. That was a terrific, terrific right hand from James Toney. JIROV, the former Olympic champion, of course, won the light heavyweight gold in Atlanta. He was a European junior champion and a proud champion. You can certainly tell that every inch of the way here tonight. He's got to find something spectacular to turn this one around. And I can't for the life of me see where it's going to come from.
Well,
he's still, Duke, sorry, he still just keeps on trying.
Yeah, he hasn't hurt James Toney all right with one decisive shot. Tony's landed the hurtful punches. But JIROV, he won't be denied. He just keeps powering forward, keeps throwing plenty of shots, trying to stay in the fight.
Right in James Toney's face. Oh dear me, once again the knees buckled a little bit, and JIROV felt that one. Steve Smoger right between them straight away, but that is a good round for James Toney.
It's almost as though you're right, he's got to stop watching in his head, and he knows just when to turn it on and just when to turn it off.
Drop your hands, drop your hands. 2 rounds, you're gonna have to fight. Look, he's looking for one shot, man, to stop you. You know what I'm saying? Don't give it to him. You got him over your head, baby. You got him over your head. You can't stand on the inside and not do nothing.
He's looking for one shot to stop you, baby. See what Freddie Roach is saying.
You had him, okay? Go inside him off the hook, okay? All right, you heard him? Keep walking him down with the head movement, okay? Walking down with head movement. Dog this guy. Dog.
He certainly did have him. Left hook. But it was a big right hand which caused the real damage earlier in the round, I thought. And there were a couple of occasions where JIROV looked as though he was on the verge of being taken out. Just 2 rounds to go. The JIROV corner are saying he's looking for one shot to finish you. You've got to keep moving. But I think James Toney now knows surely that he can just box his way down the stretch.
JIROV looks desperately tired now. He's leaning on. He's trying to hold a little bit there. He's trying to claim, buy a little bit of time. You know, the kid's worked so hard throughout the whole of this fight. He hasn't stopped trying and trying to push James Toney back with his physical presence and his work rate.
Once again pushing Toney back, but doesn't he have to pay a price? Look at this, as he goes in, now it's payback time for JIROV. Can he still somehow find the grandstand finish to turn this fight around? He has to absorb so many punches to get into this sort of range and get to the point where he can now go toe-to-toe with Toney. James Toney, only 34 years old. He seems to have been around an age. He was a world champion way back in 1992. And is he going to be a world champion once again tonight? Oh, now that was a punch, I thought. Well, the referee's saying it was a slip, but I thought that was a little right-hand counter which caught him.
Looks it to me. Tony looks to be like he's kidding a little bit now. He's gone back to the ropes again to try and draw JIROV in. And then he pounces like a tiger and switches stance. Now he's fighting out of a southpaw stance.
JIROV hasn't been able to establish that jab, though, which usually serves him so well. When Tony chooses to come forward, he just can't keep him off. Tony was walking through him there, Duke.
Just walking through him as if nothing was coming back.
Now that's a premeditated tactic there. He deliberately went back to the ropes, inviting his man to come in, and now picking him off with those really hurtful, wicked little hooks in close.
Both fighters are desperately tired now, particularly JIROV, who he's just had so much, he's done so much, he's tried so hard to get it right.
Well, still there's time for something extraordinary maybe to turn this one around. Tony waves him in, says, come on, let's have some more, and I can tag you with a right-hander like that. And again.
Oh, beautiful long left hook from James Toney, right on the money.
This has been a fascinating contest. It really has. What another excellent round of boxing that was, and the crowd here at Foxwoods absolutely riveted by this one. They're getting their money's worth, no doubt about it.
Really appreciative crowd.
3 minutes for him to turn it round. What would you be saying?
He's losing the fight. You be careful.
Well, I wouldn't be saying that. I wouldn't be telling the kid that he's losing the fight. I'd be saying to him that was another great round for you. We've got to really go to town. You know, we've won this fight. I'd be saying to him, you know, the fight's in the bag. Even if he hasn't, even if I knew in my heart he probably wasn't winning the fight, he needs a big round.
He out-hustled you that round. You don't let him out-hustle you.
Come on, baby.
Okay. He's throwing pitter-pat shots, right?
Well, they think that he lost that round.
That's good corner work. Because even if they think that he hasn't and he did win the round, they're trying to ignite him now to have another good round, just like the last one. That was a good round for James Toney, make no mistake about that.
Let's go.
Well, they're invoking pride within the man now, saying it's your title, let's go. He's got 3 minutes to turn this one around. This has been a terrific fight, no great respect beforehand, but now the touching of gloves, always nice to see, and I suspect that somewhere years from now, whatever the outcome, these two fellas are going to remember this night, and they're going to remember what was an exceptional fight, and there'll always be respect between them. Good shot, good uppercut.
There it is there from Tony again. A fast start, hard punches. Back to the ropes, kidding a little bit, holding a little bit. All of the experience that James Toney's had throughout his career and he's built up, it's just all being employed now into this last round. Lovely right uppercut by Tony and a left hook. I think he's got JIROV hurt a little bit there.
But JIROV just keeps on coming. His fitness level is extraordinary. He's kept on round after round trying to force this, and he's absorbed terrific punishment, and still Tony's dishing it out in that corner. It's going to be fascinating to see how the judges score this one. We've got James Toney ahead. I've got him about 4 or 5 rounds clear, Duke, at least.
Yeah, I've got him 3 rounds up, certainly, going into this last round. But JIROV still won't be denied. Still looking for that knockout shot. But at the same time, leaving himself wide open.
He can do no else now. It's not the time to jab and move. It's the time to abandon all pretense of caution and throw the entire metaphorical kitchen sink at your opponent, because that's the only way he's going to turn it round. And look at JIROV go for it. What a brave, proud man.
Both fighters are desperately tired now. Oh, big right hand. Oh, he's hurt. JIROV's hurt.
Tony knows it. Tony knows it. JIROV looks as though he's in trouble. He's on rubbery legs once again. And is this going to be, even at this stage, possibly, can Tony take him out? But he's regrouped well, and JIROV still keeps coming. Another left hook and an uppercut. Great shots from Tony.
It would be a shame. It would be a shame for any of these fighters to get stopped. They both fought on their heart, with their heart.
Oh, he's in danger now. He's in trouble again, is JIROV. But somehow bravely threw a right-hand counter which caught Tony. Well, what a round. 30 seconds to go. Everybody's standing up and cheering on these two men. This has been a terrific fight, and a big left hook from JIROV. Body shot, good shot.
Oh.
Great shot from Tony.
He's gone. He's down.
It was the uppercut, Duke. JIROV paid the price, and that surely has put this fight beyond any sort of doubt. Last few seconds now, and James Toney had his man on the ground. It was the right hand once again, a peach of an uppercut, and there's the bell to end it. Well, James Toney just walks away. He'd have liked to have seen perhaps the embrace between the two men, but they know it now. Surely, surely we have a new champion. Terrific performance, and at the age of 34, he's rolled back the years, and Vasily JIROV, I think, for the first time in his professional career, is going to taste defeat.
Masterful performance by James Toney. Boxed the right kind of fight, paced it at his pace, landed the telling blows, and that last round for me, well, if you needed convincing, that last round really sealed it for him.
Well, here comes the closing seconds, and you can see he walked into an absolute peach of a right hand. He was bravely trying to throw everything at Toney, wasn't he? But then, when it came, wallop. That was the one which did the damage. More to follow, but it was that right hand which really did it.
The right hand over the top was a well-timed, well-executed shot. That body shot went in there, that really hurt JIROV.
That's the one.
They're all so precise, and at this stage of the fight, in the last round, you know, when you think both fighters are just absolutely fatigued as they can possibly be, to produce quality punches like that, it says a lot about James Toney's conditioning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Glenn Feldman scores the contest, 117 to 109. Steve Weisfeld has it, 116 to 110. And Melvina Lathan scores it, 117 to 109 for the winner by unanimous decision. And new IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the